There you go.
What did you think of the lingerie in this movie?
So awful. I mean, here are women who should look good in anything. Because in my opinion, if you look good naked, you can look good in anything.
Yes.
Right. Okay, good stuff. So, this is just the most...
We look good in anything.
Oh, boy. These are just the most ill-fitting lingerie ever. The boobs look great. I mean...
Oh, fantastic.
You can't cover that.
Very nice backside.
And the bums are... No, this is true. They were like...
Lots of angles following them up the stairwell.
This is true. Boobs and bums, and bums. We got this pushed up to the neck, so you got a nice headrest if you ever get tired. And then you have the nice, bum. Mm-hmm. And then everything in between was just nothing matched. Nothing, fit. She had a corset that laid nowhere near her body. It was just, stuck out. And I was like, that's not
Now, corsets are supposed to be form-fitting and tight and kind of push in here and push up here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. This kind of bloused out here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You would think, oh, but Kelly, that's a baby doll look. Nah, I know what a baby doll look is. It's not a baby doll look.
My favorite outfit was actually not one of the lingerie pieces, but one of the outfits that the girls showed up in. Actually, no, not that one. There was a girl wearing a tight blue dress with holes cut out the side. But there was another girl. You see, when you're showing up to work all day in a soiled, musty basement, you're probably going to wear a little black cocktail dress or something
gear.
Like that. Exactly. Full makeup, hair teased, all that. It was 1990. That's what you did. Well, not me. I was 10 years old. I was in grade school. But I heard, and I saw this movie, and that's how I learned that these...
You didn't see this in 1990.
Well, no, I probably saw it in 1992 after I rented it from the video store or something like that. Because, you see this cover. She's not in the movie, by the way.
Dude, she's totally not in the movie.
She should be.
Yeah.
That's actually a nice underwear set right there.
See, that looks good.
That looks good.
Boobs are a bit pointy. Still looks good.
Yeah, she's got a... Yeah.
But that was big back then. 50s, that was big back then, with the pointy boobs. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there's one girl wearing a red one piece, I think. It's like short shorts. It's like some type of jumper,
it was
maybe. The shirt was built into the shorts and had a
wrestler.
Big belt. Yes.
Think wrestler.
Yes, like a wrestling onesie.
Yeah.
Almost with a championship type of belt built into it.
Yeah.
And she was always standing like this. She was always leaning forward and stuff.
Dude, they can't see that.
Oh,
they can't
really?
see that
no,
at all.
This here. Yeah. She was leaning forward a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever she'd pick up something heavy, and after this box of paper is really heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Yeah, so
fantastic performance.
Well, her center.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's already front heavy. If you hold
constantly
something heavy
teetering forward.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't face plant.
I mean,
So, anyway, while all these shenanigans are happening, there is a guy who you would recognize, but you would never be able to come up with his name unless you cheated and went straight to IMDb. I could tell you his name. I could put it right here, but I'm not going to because you won't know who the heck it is. Instead, you'd see a picture and go, that guy, I've seen that guy in a million things.
His name's on the back.
Let's see. You're right, it's not on there. But Forrest J. Ackerman's on there as a small cameo as the museum curator or someone. The guy in the museum with the big skeletons standing next to him.
The one who's supposed to get the emo package.
Yeah, who tells him, whatever you do, don't open it.
Actually, no. He went, whatever you do, and then the line went dead. Yeah. And then the very, very, very smart accountant who's moonlighting as an inventory specialist, or an inventory specialist moonlighting as an accountant, was like, maybe another phone will work. Because
maybe the phone in the next room works. Maybe it's just this, because they're on opposite.
Okay, so Orville, go.
Orville, Redenbach, Orville, Kiersey, something.
Orville.
Creepy looking janitor guy.
I'm trying to think of his name.
Kiersey. I don't know. That's Paul Kiersey from the Death Wish movies. Orville. So Orville is big. Hey.
In flannel.
In flannel and jeans.
Flannel.
And he ignores his pockets and keeps his valuables right down here because they need a key to get into the basement. He's like, then you're going to need this.
That's where most
and
men
he pulls out
valuables.
the key to the basement.
What?
The key to the basement was
12?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, the movie wants you to think that Orville is the killer because he's the big creepy guy, and it tells you he's the killer with orchestra stings. He shows up and boom, 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 crashing lightning behind him, even though they're indoors and not standing by a window. And he eats his raw
meat on the outside of his sandwich.
That's right. Not only does he eat his meat raw, but bread, nothing in between, another bread, raw meat on top. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see what he was doing.
Right.
But
he's hard.
Is he really the killer? Because, by the way, these girls, start dying. And by dying means someone they're pulled off camera and then someone, throws a bucket of paint. Or in one case, one gal gets like a hook to the throat. And as you know, the artery in the neck continuously sprays in a continuous spray, not spurt. You might think that because the heart, spurt. No, it's one continuous stream for like 10 or 15 seconds until there's no more blood to spurt out. That's how it works. That's anatomy.
That is anatomy. Mm-hmm. Let me show you.
So the girls are running around from Orville, and he's like, hey. And so they kick him in the groin, stab him with a knife, several times. Stab him with that pointy thing that you put on desks that you take pieces of paper and put them on
the receipt.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't need this. You spike it on the receipt. It's the spike, receipt spike. They're called that. And it gets stabbed with one of those. He gets shot. He actually gets knocked off the top of the building, but luckily since
which is between somewhere 10 and 30 stories.
And like Michael Myers, he keeps getting back up. He's really trying to protect the girls because the spirit of the bad guy in Sorority Massacre 2 somehow put his spirit in a box and mailed it to an office building populated with different characters but played by the same actresses in the previous movie.
Yes.
Which was a sequel to the movie it was a sequel to.
Yes.
And it possesses one of the girls, and she's actually the killer. And
that
Orville,
is some good acting.
Yeah, right. I mean, sells it.
You've never seen a half-naked lady having more fun.
Yes. She actually, either having fun or passing kidney stone. Really wasn't
It's
sure.
either pain or euphoria. Not quite sure what it is.
It's somewhere halfway between. It's hard to tell sometimes. But Orville really ends up being the hero. He was trying to protect the girls, and his selflessness actually gets him shot many times. But he survives, and he gets the girl in the end.
He does.
And there's a sub-story with two police officers who actually were in the previous movie, which was the sequel to the first movie that it was a sequel of. And
it works. It just wasn't necessary, but it works.
They are there. And in one scene, they drive away and they hit the siren, which isn't on the car, but you hear it anyway. And then in another scene, they actually have the siren. So it's good that they finally got that prop. They also go for donuts at one point, and then the next time
they miss everything.
And so the next time you see them, they're like, "We should drop by that building where Orville is because they suspect he was the killer. But first, let's get donuts." And they have triumphant "Let's get donuts" music, and the next time you see them, it's the following morning. So I don't know if there was like a really long line or if that was just the most epic "Let's get donuts." But that could have been a movie. The road trip for donuts could have been a huge misadventure and movie in and of itself. But they get there, they have a firefight, some security guard shows up, and we've never seen before, and he dies.
Yeah.
And he's in the credits, so good on him. Must have been someone's cousin.
Dude, there are people in the credits that weren't in the movie.
Yeah. So a couple continuity errors, but when you're shooting for such heights, that's inevitable. For instance, when the girl was running up the stairs, the tag was sticking out of the back of her underwear.
Yeah.
And then in the next shot, which was actually her running up the same flight of stairs, her tag was back in her underwear.
Yep.
Now, you could explain things like that away. I mean, maybe she was like, oh, goodness, and tucked it back in, and the editor felt that's not really important to the story, that just slows things down, because it's a very snappy movie.
Oh.
I mean, it's got an excellent
There's
pace.
no drag.
Mm-hmm. In fact, it's so tight that they had to show about 10 minutes of the previous movie just to get this movie up to a feature length. Which works really well, because showing all of the deaths from the previous movie not only gives you more girls and more gore, but it also gets the movie up to 81 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Including credits.
That's great.
Yeah. So, also
and
her limp seemed to come and
that
go.
comes and goes.
And seemed to, she'd be limping up and down the stairs, and then she'd be running fine, and then she'd be a normal limp, and then it'd be a humongous pronounced
and then
limp.
she could barely even move.
Yeah, crawling along the floor,
Yeah.
And they have really great ideas like, okay, I'm going to head to the first floor and see if we can get out the door. You head to the roof and see if we can fly
Jump
down a
off
helicopter.
and not die. I don't know.
Or maybe leap to another building, maybe. See if there's a fire escape. I'm sure there was a plan there somewhere, but she's like...
Shimmy down a drain pipe.
Yeah, shimmy down a drain pipe. And they're like, okay, if you run into Orville, who they still think is the killer, scream. Because I will totally hear you through 30 floors of concrete. And they do.
And
they do.
And she does.
You might think that that's a film flub, but no, it actually works. Orville ends up on the roof, and somehow he always knows what floor they're on. And he goes up to the roof, and she screams, and the woman limping down the stairs is like, limps up the stairs.
Internal struggle though. She's like, do I need to?
Well,
yeah,
because they made a promise. They say if you hear a scream,
you just go on.
Keep going. If you hear me scream, you just go out the front door. If you hear me scream, I'm just gonna jump off the roof.
Yeah.
And the movie plays with your expectations in an excellent way, because Orville comes up onto the roof and corners her, and she's backing up, and you're like, oh gosh, she's gonna fall off the roof.
No.
Actually, the other girl manages to limp all the way up to the top floor, which is either the 11th floor or possibly the 30th floor, depending on which angle you're looking at the building from.
Somewhere in between.
And grabs a trash can lid and pushes him right off the roof. I don't know why with the trash can lid, but... Leverage, right. It probably wouldn't have been able to push him without the garbage can lid. Orville's very resourceful. Not only does he know how to make a mean raw meat sandwich and know a good place to keep the basement key where no one will ever get it unless he wants
no
to
one's
have it,
checking
right?
there.
Right. He also's probably an amateur physician, because he's been stabbed in the gut several times through a heavy flannel shirt. So he figures, okay, I'm bleeding. I might want to fix this. So he takes a single piece of gauze, puts it over the wound, over the heavy flannel shirt, and staple guns it to his stomach.
Nailed it.
Stapled it. Yeah.
That's true too.
There's also possibly a continuity error with the 5 girls getting in the elevator and going down to the first floor. And
that is a continuity error. She's not there. She's not in the elevator.
Are you sure she's not standing directly behind one of the other girls?
No, she is
Maybe
not.
Maybe she was
there.
tying
she's
her
not,
or strapping her.
She's
heel.
not there. She's not in the elevator. They're 4 in. 5 enter, 4 are in, and 5 exit.
Yeah. I like the scene when the girl in the blue dress with the cutouts Diana is the only one with any work ethic.
Yeah.
And she's like, everyone's like, we're going to take showers and romp in our underwear and have egg rolls. And she's like... And she... Sorry. And she's like, I'm going to go down to the basement and get the rest of the boxes.
The rest of the 30 boxes all by myself and bring them up one at a time in the elevator. And they're just like, oh, thanks, okay.
But one girl does help her carry one of the boxes about 10 feet from the basement door to the elevator. That was selfless.
Heartwarming.
Right, and that's right before her death scene, and it's character moments like that really connect you with the characters and make them you care about them, so you really feel it.
I missed her after she got hooked in the artery that sprayed a few times.
No, just once, one continuous spray, like in real life.
Sprayed a few times.
Once. Like in real life.
No, I know it like, oh, can you hear my foot? Sorry. They don't understand that.
Her shoes are very loud. That might be the football game downstairs.
I could hear that too. I was like, what was that?
So,
really, woman?
Okay, that one was on purpose. So, Hard to Die. Would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah.
So, I think it's out of print. You may have some difficulty finding it these days, but
we have it.
We have it. So, if you want to come over and watch it with us, don't.
No,
don't stalk us.
That'd be weird.
Actually, especially since we're like 30 miles from anywhere. We're out in the middle of the woods here.
Yeah, but more than that, we don't live anywhere near each other either.
Yeah, actually don't come over, because by the time you find this location, we won't be here anymore.
Yeah.
And Mom will wonder who the heck you are.
That'll be strange.
And I'm taking this home with me.
Yeah, so don't
she won't
don't
even
find
have
me.
it. Yeah.
I'm unfindable.
Are you not in the
system?
The yellow pages or white pages?
No.
No? You're not listed?
Do they have those anymore?
Yes, because they keep putting them in front of my door, and I keep putting them in the recycle bin along with every single other person in my apartment complex. Because everyone's like, why do I need this when I have this?
Why do I need this? I only got 5 friends.
I mean, you tell an 8-year-old today, it's like, try and describe a phone book to them, and they're going to be like, a phone book?
Right.
What is it? Oh, it's a big, thick book with the numbers of everyone you could ever want to call in it. It's like, all of them? No, just your city. What if you have to call someone who doesn't live in your city, like in another state? Well, then you better know their number.
Then stop making friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So Hard to Die? No, go see Die Hard.
Yes, see Die Hard. Would you say Hard to Die is better than some of the Die Hard sequels, like A Good Day to Die Hard?
Never saw it.
But she has seen this.
What does
and
that say?
should tell you everything you need to know. Next, we will talk about Hobo with the Shotgun, which is what we were going to watch in the first place.
This is true.
Once Tim was available, we actually watched it. So
this is true.
Be right back at you.
Boom.